In the heart of Denver, Colorado, a new escape room venue had taken the city by storm. Mystery Mansion was the latest craze, drawing thrill seekers from all over with its reputation for immersive experiences and spine-chilling themes. The owners, a charismatic couple named Mark and Lisa, were known for their creativity, designing each room to be a puzzle that blended storytelling with interactive challenges. One fateful Friday night, a group of friends, Alex, Jenna, Mike, and Sarah, decided to test their wits against the newest room, the Haunted Chamber. The atmosphere was electric as they arrived, a mix of excitement and nervous energy bubbling among them. They were greeted by Lisa, who explained the rules and the history behind the room. Legend has it that the spirits of those who entered the chamber never left, she said with a nervous laugh, but her eyes hinted at something deeper. Just remember, once you're in, you have to find the clues to escape before the timer runs out. As they donned their themed props and stepped into the dimly lit chamber, the door clicked shut behind them. The room was decorated with cobwebs, flickering candles, and eerie portraits that seemed to watch their every move. The timer began counting down, and the friends quickly scattered to search for clues. Each puzzle they solved revealed more about the dark history of the room, but as they delved deeper, they began to feel an unsettling presence looming around them. At first, the challenges seemed typical of an escape room: locked boxes, hidden keys, and riddles that required teamwork. However, as the minutes ticked away, strange occurrences began to unfold. Flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the walls, and the air grew heavy with an inexplicable chill. Jenna found an old diary tucked away in a corner of the room, its pages filled with frantic scrawls warning of a curse upon those who dared to solve the mysteries within the chamber. "We should get out of here," she suggested, her voice trembling slightly. But Alex dismissed her concerns, determined to complete the challenge. "Come on, we're almost there. Just a little longer," he urged, trying to rally the group. The friends pressed on, but as they worked through the puzzles, they began to feel the weight of an unseen force pressing down on them. Suddenly, the lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. The group screamed, their voices echoing in the confined space. Panic set in as they fumbled for their phones, only to discover that the flashlights had mysteriously stopped working. When the lights flickered back on, they found themselves standing in front of a wall that had not been there moments before, covered in cryptic symbols that pulsed with a faint glow. "Did we do that?" Mike asked, bewildered. Just then, the timer reset to 0, and a low, ominous laugh echoed throughout the chamber. The friends exchanged terrified glances, realizing they were no longer in a game but part of something far more sinister. As they tried to make sense of what was happening, the door to the escape room remained stubbornly shut. They banged on it, shouting for help, but no one answered. The panic escalated when they noticed the cameras in the corners of the room had gone dark. "What is happening?" Sarah cried, her voice shaking. "We need to get out of here." With no other options, they returned to the puzzles, desperately searching for a way to escape. But as they worked, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Whispers filled the air, and shadows danced around them, warping their sense of reality. Each time they solved a puzzle, the room seemed to shift, revealing haunting images of previous players, faces twisted in terror, mouths open in silent screams. Time lost meaning, and their hope began to dwindle. Hours passed, or perhaps it was only minutes, they couldn't tell. As they sank deeper into despair, they heard footsteps outside the door, a glimpse of salvation. They rushed to the door, pounding and screaming for help. But the footsteps faded away, leaving them in darkness once more. Desperation took hold as they searched for an exit, but it was as if the room itself was alive, shifting and changing to trap them. Finally, they stumbled upon a hidden panel that led to a narrow corridor. It felt like a lifeline, but as they stepped inside, they quickly realized it was a labyrinth, twisting and turning in ways that defied logic. The wall seemed to close in, and the whispers grew louder, taunting them as they frantically searched for a way out. Outside the escape room, hours turned into a night of worry. The friends had gone in at 8 o'clock, and by 11, concern turned into panic. The staff at Mystery Mansion had assumed it was part of the act, but when the clock struck midnight and the group hadn't emerged, Lisa and Mark's facade cracked. They tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. They called the police, but when the officers arrived, they found no signs of forced entry. As the investigation unfolded, the story went viral. News crews flocked to the scene, and the escape room gained infamy overnight. The police searched for answers, but no clues surfaced. The four friends had seemingly vanished without a trace. Even more alarming was the fact that no one could find Mark and Lisa, the owners of Mystery Mansion. The couple had disappeared into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Weeks turned into months, but the case grew colder, and the escape room was eventually shut down. The only remnants of that night were the chilling stories shared by those who dared to enter. Rumors began to circulate about the room being haunted, with reports of strange occurrences surrounding the building. But to this day, no one knows what truly happened that night inside the haunted chamber. Some say the friends are still trapped in the labyrinth of the escape room, while others believe they were taken by something far more sinister. As the sun sets over Denver, the abandoned building stands as a haunting reminder of the mysteries that linger in the shadows. The only certainty is that they never left, and the horrors of that night will echo through the walls forever.